Workout started. GPS on.
I better turn the volume down a little bit. I had it on high because I couldn't hear the poor girl because of the traffic noise. There was so much traffic that I couldn't hear what she was saying. But that's not because I was on the highway. I was beside the highway.
Did you bring your camera?
No.
What?
I only brought my phone with me. If there's something that you really want a picture of, I could take it. But otherwise, no photo breaks. So, what did you think about my suggestion of your fasting?
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to do that. I just don't know. Because I sleep for 12 hours anyways.
Well, that's the basic. You should be able to do like 14 hours without eating and just eat in that 10-hour period.
But does that count in sleeping?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you can go from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. without eating, which means no snacks after 8 and no early breakfast. And if you can go 14 hours, it's better. The nice thing about that diet is you don't have to change what you eat.
Did you say 7 hours?
It's 12 hours on, 12 hours off.
Well, I think you said 7 hours.
Well, it can be. The ideal is to do like 25 hours. Not 25 hours, it's 15 hours and 9 hours of not eating. Oh no, the other way around. Anyway, it's easier to do half and half. So 12 hours when you can eat and 12 hours when you can't. And it can include when you're sleeping. That's how most people do it. Because the theory behind it is a lot of people, they don't give enough time for their body to digest the food that they've already eaten. And they're already putting more in.
Well, I think that's legs.
It's legs lumber?
Yeah.
What about them?
Yeah, that's them. Oh, just wondering where my work was.
Yep, there they are.
Probably looking at my work just for a second, just to see if it has that.
But it might not be there.
It has a headphone jack in the back.
A headphone jack in the back.
Yeah,
No.
it does. It has 2 of them.
Maybe the original one did.
With their own volume control.
Wow. That was in the old days.
1989 New Yorker.
Wow. I guess going back a little while, isn't it? That's 30 years ago. So you were born in 1984.
Yeah.
The year that George Orwell predicted that everything was going to go wrong. 1984.
Oh boy, was he wrong.
He was wrong, luckily. Mind you, he was right about Big Brother, because he was saying that Big Brother will be watching you. But I guess Big Brother's been watching us for quite a while now.
What's that?
Google. They know where we are. Somebody was saying that they think that they listen in on people's phone calls, and they listen in on they read their text messages.
was Google?
Yeah.
Did you ask C2?
No. It's probably top secret. Because I don't know if you've ever looked for anything online. If you look online for, say, you wanted to buy a camera, you look online for cameras. And then the next thing you know, you're on Facebook and you get an ad saying, cameras for sale. So how do they know that you were looking at cameras? Because you searched. Your search engine says, this guy's looking for cameras.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, advertisements, I feel like.
They target you.
Yeah.
Like, say, for instance, you were looking up running shoes.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, you'll get an ad from front runners.
Yeah. And then I'm like...
And you think, how do they know?
Yeah.
Because they've been spying on you. You know that little camera on laptops, on the lid, you know, for doing video calls.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Some people say that they have software that you can hack into so that they can spy on you. They can see your room, even if the light doesn't show up, to say that the camera's on, it's on, and they could be watching you. So some people, they put a bit of duct tape over the camera so that they can't see anything. And I'm not saying when I'm doing audio recording with my Sony, because that's not digital. It's a voice recorder, but it's not linked to the internet. But if I was recording with my phone, they could probably hear it. There's a way that they could find out. They could be spying on me. Anyway, I don't think I have anything to hide, really. What was that movie? I think it was called Minority Report.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
I saw that in the theater.
And that one was supposed to be like, they knew that a crime was going to happen so they could arrest you before it happened.
Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it? But it also means that they have to spy on everybody at all time to know if they're going to do a crime. Did you like that movie?
No.
Not really.
I saw that on my birthday party.
Did you rent a DVD or did you stream it?
No, we thought in theater.
Oh, you went to the theatre, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. You told me that.
I should show Rob the scar I got from Montana's.
Oh, talking of Rob, he's complaining now that he's so tired all the time.
Yeah.
He says, I haven't felt this bad in ages, he said.
Yeah.
He said by the time he finishes, sometimes it's 1 a.m,
Oh, yeah.
and he can't get to sleep.
And if it used to be way more busier, he'd be there till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Now we're getting to the zone where that car might be.
It's not here.
It's not here. So obviously it's still a driver.
Can we stop running now?
It might just arrive. Anyway, so everything that you predicted has come true about Rob, I should say, Coach Rob. You know what I suggested? I said that he should keep that job, but start looking for a day job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's used to working the breakfast shift.
Or else his soul's gonna end up being there after 3 years.
Yeah, he'll sell his soul to Montana's. It's not worth it. The the thing
My
is,
soul's still there.
they didn't give him anybody to help him until the service ended. And then one of the sous chefs helped in the dish pit.
Sous chef.
Well, not the sous chef, but one of the second chefs or whatever, the line cooks. Because I'm sure they got a head chef.
No.
And he doesn't do anything other than cook and give orders. Hang on. Watch out for this car. Now, the 8K would go down that street, up to the highway, back, and then back this way. So there's another 1.5 kilometers that way to do 8K.
It was as busy as it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be quitting by now.
Well, I think what they probably did was they...
Back then, Carlos, it was twice as busy. You could almost get a heart attack. It was so bad. You saw dishwashers quit in just 1 month.
And you lasted how many years?
4 years.
But you had a break in the middle,
Well, I quit,
and then you went back.
and then I went back because I was desperate on money.
You needed the money.
I was like, well, I might as well go back because I get hired instantly.
Yeah, and you knew the job. You knew exactly what it was like. But I don't know if Rob knew what he was letting himself in for.
I don't think so, because he didn't know that this was the busiest in Canada.
Well, the other thing is that they probably made cutbacks to make it so that there's more work for him, but not enough for 2 dishwashers. Because I remember him saying to me, well, it's the same money as I was getting at the Bay, or near enough, and there's less stress, but the trouble is, there's more stress.
It was as busy as when I was working here. There's always 2 dishwashers at night time. Now it's not so busy, so you don't need...
That's what I mean. They did some cutbacks,
Well,
so they can get away with just paying one guy.
well, it's not busy enough anymore. So if it's not busy enough, why put 2 in?
See, there's a car worth taking a picture of. That Jaguar.
No way.
No?
So now there's 21. It's like, well, if it's not, this is not that busy anymore, why have 2?
Yeah, well, that's their philosophy. Their mentality is that if we can get away with just paying one person, that's what we'll do.
But they wouldn't dare do that, because if it was really busy, they'd have to have 2, because they'd lose money.
Yeah, there would be too much delay in the kitchen for cutlery and crockery and flatware. Do you do the wine glasses, or does the barman do the wine glasses?
Barman. Wine glasses.
Well, that's one relief. What about the water glasses?
We do those.
Oh yeah. But would it make it easier if they didn't bring the water glasses in? If they went to the bar instead? Would that make it easier?
No, because usually what we do is if the waitress says I need more glasses, they don't really.
They don't.
They have tons still.
Yeah. They just want to tell you to do something.
I don't know. They just worry too much. So one time, one side was empty, and the other side was really hot. So I said, well, I'll just transfer some from the other
side, yeah.
because I'm too busy right now.
I meant to ask you, do the waitresses have bus people working under them?
one time, but then they said, well, waitresses can do that.
Yeah, they're getting the tips. Why don't they do the work?
We'll just hire more waitresses.
Yeah. So they can take money faster.
We already have good waitresses. So why not just keep the one we got and add maybe one more? The host usually do the buffet.
Yeah. So they would say, we'll send the waitress over to take your order, and then they'll start tidying the table. Yeah. But look at this.
Faster going.
We're doing warp speed, warp factor 3.
We're like 6.
Well, hang on. Let me turn the volume up. It's just I couldn't hear what she was saying, so I turned it up on the highway, but I turned it down when we started on your street. But I can tell you what our average is. Yeah, 648.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah. I turn the volume up now so we can hear. Yep, that was a little fast. As long as we finish around 7-minute pace, we're okay. Hello.
Distance 2.48 kilometers. Workout average pace 6 minutes 57 per kilometer.
No, that's right. That's coming up soon.
I better give Robbie some advice. Tell him,
Coach Rob?
don't do the cuddly right away. Don't do the glasses right away.
Let them pile up.
Yep.
And that way you can get the plates done.
Yep. There's cycling left.
Well, he's still learning the job. But what I should say to him is when I publish this episode, I'll say,
Usually most dishwashers never learn until they taught them that.
yeah. Well, the management might say, no, you do everything when it comes in.
Workout average pace 6 minutes
Yeah, they're
57
supposed
per
to say
kilometer.
that just so they have their mind all relaxed.
Yeah. Hello.
Morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Hi.
And I just go, yep.
Yeah, you say yes and then do what you were doing.
Yeah.
So this is around where the El Camino normally parks. Hi there. I see it. There's the El Camino.
And Ford has one called the Rancho.
Yeah. The Ranchero?
What?
The Ranchero.
The Rancho. And then
No, Ranchero.
Ranchero.
It's pronounced Ranchero,
Oh,
as this one's pronounced Camino. It's a Spanish word.
and then there was GMC's.
Laredo.
What?
The Laredo.
Oh, it wasn't that. Was it?
Well, there was one called a Laredo. Maybe it was a Jeep. A Cherokee. I bet he hasn't driven that in a while.
Probably a gas guzzler.
Yeah, that's what I think. He probably has an electric car for the rest of the week. The other thing that Norma suggested about how to lose weight is she suggested that you ask the woman that buys the food to buy lean cuisine. Does she buy Hungry Man?
Yeah.
Well, that's very full of sugar.
My mom had to talk with her so she doesn't buy those anymore.
That's good. That's going to help a lot. If she doesn't buy too much of that junk stuff. And no more bologna on white bread. I mean, she didn't even put any butter on. Can you believe it?
Who did?
The girl, the woman that buys your food. She put those 2 bologna rolls that you gave me. They were horrible. I thought I was going to die.
But butter's fattening, isn't it?
Well, not really.
I like margarine better.
Yep, most people do. Most people think that margarine is just as good as butter.
Or better, because it's from the flour.
Well, butter comes from milk. They don't have to kill a cow to make butter.
But if they kill a flour, then they can keep on healthy.
Well, they can make sunflower seed oil, and from that they can make margarine.
I think that's what they do.
Yep. Anyway, so lean cuisine is one idea. Another idea is the intermittent fasting. And within now and the race, you could lose 10 pounds.
Distance 3.22 kilometers. Workout average pace 6 minutes 50 seconds per kilometer.
Hello. We're bang on pace now, Derick. Next week we can try and do an extra 5 minutes. So instead of doing 35, do 40 minutes. And that would be like from here, turning back and going the way we came.
Distance 3.37 kilometers. Workout average pace 6 minutes 49 seconds per kilometer.
You're doing well, Derick. Just keep up the pressure a little bit. Not too much. There goes the WestJet. Yep. That one's probably going to Seattle.
What's the closer, safer than the Japanese?
Probably. They fly slower
Distance 3.52
and they fly lower.
pace 6 minutes 48 seconds per kilometer.
Okay, there's our speed.
Slow down.
So now we're doing the new section. The add-on to make our normal run 5K. So we're still a little fast, 6:48 average. But we got to cross this street after the white car. Hello. All clear your way? All right, so
Up there or down there?
up here to the highway, along and then down Bradford. And then you can take off whenever you want, if you want to sprint the finish.
The only one that counts us running is the bicycle meter.
What are you talking about?
The one that has the bicycles go across. I think that's the only one that can count us as
3.71
our speed.
kilometers. Workout average
Yep.
pace 57 per kilometer.
But they normally use those just for counting the number of vehicles.
Oh, right, yeah.
They just want to know how many people use that bit of road.
Only a radar gun then.
Well, no, and they also know if they need to put a crossing guard there, if there's a lot of kids during school time.
But a radar gun would catch our speed.
Well,
It would say 2 miles per hour.
they don't actually give you a ticket. They just tell you you're going above the speed limit. That's all.
We are?
No, we aren't. But for that section, the speed limit is 30. Because there's that old people's home. Keep running, Derek. You're doing good.
Distance 3.95 kilometers. Workout average pace 60 minutes 57 per kilometer.
I'd give probably 200 miles.
Well, you could. That's a blind person. She's learning how to use her stick. Talking of blind people, I got a phone call from Graham the other day.
Really?
Yep. He didn't say anything, but I got a feeling he did a butt dial, that kind of thing. He didn't mean to call me, but he did.
Oh, how do you know that?
Well, because he said, call us. And I said, Derick, Graham, what's up? And he said, nothing, I've changed my operating system on my computer,
6 minutes 51 seconds per kilometer.
and he's lost all his addresses. They put him on Microsoft, and I think he was on iOS before. Well, that's what he told me. He said he needed to make contact with all his friends. So maybe he was going through his phone, telling people to email him, so he'd have their new emails. I think that's what it was. He wanted to touch base with me, but he didn't say, can you run next week? He said that he'd been having some serious balance issues. He was losing his balance. And he's had some major surgery as well.
Distance 4.23 kilometers. Workout average pace 6 minutes 51 seconds per kilometer.
6:51, Derick. You know, this week we ran past Amelia without saying anything.
Should we go back?
No, we're not going to get to Amelia.
Well, we got it. We got to say it.
So it looks as if today's run's going to be the same as last week,
Workout average pace 6 minutes 51 seconds per
or
kilometer.
maybe faster. I think Derick is saving himself for the sprint finish. You're fading on me.
I'm doing 7.5.
Oh, I see. So I better run at your speed then.
My comfort zone.
Yeah. If you wanted to go more than
You don't
5,
have a big belly as me.
well, you won't either if you do the intermittent fasting and cut out the junk food.
Distance 4.51 kilometers. Workout average pace 6
Hi.
minutes 51 seconds per kilometer.
Did you see that guy? Yeah, I know, but even so, you'd think a healthy guy like him, he wouldn't smoke cigarettes. He actually stopped his bike to have a cigarette. Alley-oop. So this is Derick's road.
67 kilometers. Workout average pace 6 minutes 50 seconds per kilometer.
So that is 30 minutes that we've done. We've got 4 minutes to get back to his place. I think he might sprint past me at the end. I'm not sure. But he should still come in under 35, which should make him feel good. Getting ready for the sprint?
Oh, no.
No sprint? Okay. I just heard the 30-minute. So we got 5 minutes to get to your house from here. I think we could walk it from here.
Distance 4.83 kilometers. Workout average pace 6 minutes 50 seconds per kilometer.
Wait, check to see if it's open.
Yeah,
You don't have your money on you.
I do have money on me today. So we're just coming up to the end now. Pretty soon I'll be able to see my e-bike.
Distance 4.99 kilometers. Workout average pace 6 minutes 48 seconds per kilometer.
Yay, Derick! Let me just stop the app. Give you the good news. Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Huey News.
Yep, Huey Lewis on the news. Okay.
Workout paused. Workout stopped.
You're not going to get me.
34:30. I'm not going to catch you out on pop trivia.
Where are these? Maybe the Grateful Dead you would.
I could catch you out on the Grateful Dead. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so I will just call this episode More 5K Training, unless you can think of a better title.
I was kind of annoyed with my mom, but my bike, she thought I should get a 150 tune-up. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'd rather just buy a used bike for...
Yeah, that's probably the best way to go. Just instead of
So I just did a 40.
putting money into the bike. Have you put 40 into it already?
Yep. Just
What
for a
happened? The
tune-up.
brakes?
I don't know, but runs great now. It's like,
Good.
well, I'm glad I disagreed with my mom about 150.
Well, what you could do is you could incorporate the bike as part of your training for this race. Do that 5K twice on the bike.
Oh, I do a little bit more on the bike.
Yeah, no, you
Because
should
I
do at
go
least
to work.
double.
Yeah.
You go to work on this?
Yep, so it's about 10K.
Good.
Yep.
And do you use your pedometer at work?
Yeah, I tried so many pedometers, but none of them,
Gave you an accurate reading?
well, eventually it'll stop, even though I have the stop button,
Yeah.
even though it's already started.
It's probably on auto pause. If it doesn't get any movement, it switches off after a while. Like when your phone goes to sleep, when the screen goes to sleep.
Yeah.
I think you could probably activate it. Is it on your, is the pedometer on that phone?
Huh?
Or is it one that you wear on your belt?
It's,
Probably the old analog one's more reliable, the one that you just wear on your belt. Because you can get a pedometer app on the phone, but then, you know, the phone has to be on all the time.
does iSmooth Run do?
A pedometer?
Yeah.
Yep, they do a step counter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, why didn't I think of that?
Well, if I look at the results, hang on, let me just stop this recording. I'll just say bye-bye to my thousands of fans. Bye-bye, thousands of fans. And I'll show you.